Hey guys, welcome back. I forgot to mention in the last video that I actually knew that I had a tilted uterus since before I tried to get pregnant. I know that some people get it fixed by going to a sobadora. I never did that. I heard it's painful. I really don't know. But I've been told from a doctor and a nurse practitioner that that doesn't stop you from getting pregnant, that it doesn't really get in the way of that. So I left it alone. Like I had mentioned in my last video, my pregnancy wasn't the easiest. And the reason for that is because I was considered high risk throughout my whole pregnancy. So like I mentioned in the last video, I found out I was pregnant in December. 5 days after I took the home pregnancy test, I was scheduled to go in to get my labs done to confirm the pregnancy, and it came out obviously positive. Now the way that Kaiser does it, they don't actually schedule you to see the doctor the same day that you get your labs done. They scheduled me ahead of time, and then my doctor, I didn't actually get to see him until probably 2-3 weeks later for my first OB consultation. So even though I had actual confirmation that I was pregnant with labs and everything, I was still scared from the very beginning because of my previous experiences with miscarrying. Even though I still had that in the back of my mind, I still wanted to enjoy my pregnancy, and I did. But there were certain things that still happened that would always make me second guess the pregnancy. What I mean by second guess is that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to carry full term. A couple of weeks after I took the lab work, I actually had to go into the ER because I woke up to some spotting and some cramping, and I thought I had lost the baby. But luckily I didn't. They did an ultrasound, they took me in, they checked me, and everything was fine. I actually got to hear his heartbeat for the very first time, and I was like, okay, it's fine. So I do know that some spotting and cramping can be normal for some people in the beginning of the pregnancy. And even the ER doctor did say that to me, but given my history, I was worried. We got to see the OB doctor for the very first time for the pregnancy, and he was very happy to see me because I was actually pregnant. And like I mentioned in the last video, he had mentioned that he wasn't sure if I was going to be able to conceive on my own or not, and he was very happy that I did. In this visit, since I had the spotting and the cramping and because of my history, he gave me some vaginal suppositories so that I can insert vaginally, and they were progesterone. He said that it would help to keep the baby inside. So I did take those. They kind of look like little round eggs, and they go in and you don't really feel it. They're kind of like the size of a quarter, but in the shape of an egg. So I used those for a couple of weeks, and I ended up forgetting like 1 or 2 days, and I told him, and he said to stop taking it then because it can actually cause you to miscarry also if you don't do it properly. So he stopped me from using it after that. When I was about 5 months along, I ended up in the ER because I started having a lot of cramping and a lot of pressure down towards the vaginal area. And I was concerned that something was wrong again. So my husband ended up taking me to the ER. Luckily, my OB doctor was the one who was on call that day, and he performed an ultrasound. During that scan, he saw that I had 2 little cysts. He said, I think they were like that big, I'm not really sure. And then he also saw that my fibroid was actually growing alongside with the baby. So it was bigger than what it was when I first found out that I had it. So besides the ultrasound, they also did an NST, which is a non-stress test, and it monitors the baby heartbeat. So that came out fine, and then the ultrasound also showed that the baby was fine. So I ended up going home that same day. He told me to just stay in bed, don't do anything. So I did that for a few days. He also ended up ordering a few ultrasounds on certain days so that he can monitor the baby throughout the pregnancy. So at about 8 months, he started talking to me about my birth plan because he saw that the fibroid kept growing alongside with the baby throughout the whole pregnancy. And he asked me if I wanted to try to do natural, like pushing him out vaginally, and then I might end up having a C-section, or do I just want to go straight to a C-section? And I elected to have a C-section because I didn't want to continue struggling. I didn't want to struggle like trying to push him out, and then I end up with a C-section anyway, and then I'm just tired. So I just decided to have C-section. My due date was actually August 18th of 2016, but that's also my brother's birthday and my aunt's. But my brother, throughout my whole pregnancy, he actually pissed me off a lot. So he kept telling me things that would just bug me. And so I purposely scheduled my C-section for the 12th, which was the Friday before, and now I kind of low-key regret it, just because my son would have been born on his birthday and his son was born on my birthday last year. So now I'm kind of like, oh, I should have left it alone, but whatever, it's done already, so oh well. And so yeah, I had a C-section. So the last month of my pregnancy, labs showed that I had an iron deficiency. So that means I was anemic, and they had to do IV infusions on me, and I actually have a few slides of that, so I'll show them next. So I had to do those 2 times a week up until a few days before the C-section. So during the C-section, the only ones allowed in the delivery room was me and my husband. My mom waited outside the whole time, and everybody else was on the phone with my mom. So yeah, my husband recorded most of the delivery. He captured when my son was coming out of my stomach, and I'll insert the videos of that after this, and I hope it's not too gruesome for some people. And then also he captured, the doctor actually pulled out the fibroid and held it in his hands like this. So it was pretty big by the time I delivered. And it turns out that I would have ended up having a C-section anyway, because he was also breached. So either way, I'm glad I went that route instead of trying to do everything naturally and like just end up tired. That's the end of my video, so I'm gonna actually insert some clips of my delivery right now. So if you're sensitive to stuff like that, or if you just get grossed out, just you can stop watching right here. But I am gonna insert, and I'm gonna try to screenshot the part where he's holding the fibroid as much as I could. So I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Yes. Thank you.
Why did you decide to use those?
This one, I can do it because I want to have less. I need to change the setting. That's it.
And then tell me when you want that.
Oh, baby. Papa, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, little feet!
Stand up.
Little feet!
Stand up, my friend.
You want that out?
The food come out.
Stand up.
Yeah, you can look.
Look at feet coming out.
There's feetsies.
You okay? You're not gonna get dizzy on me? Oh, little man. Here he comes.
Get closer if you want. Just watch your step.
Yeah, you can. Oh, sorry.
Squeeze that around over the chest and straight up. And it, or push on.
Okay.
Perfect. Push, push, push. Push, push. Oh, don't bite your uterus.
Biting your home.
Keep on pushing in nice.
There it is. Hey, little guy.
There we go. Congratulations.
He is so cute.
And he's a boy.
For sure.
6 p.m.
Very
That is 6. Right at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, get over the camera.
Yeah.
It's very curly.
Yes, very thick curly cord. Hey, cutie.
Camera. Camera.
Okay,
Camera.
he is disconnected.
Come on, boy.
He's disconnected.
Good.
Wait,
What's that?
it's there,
Alright,
there we go.
Not the best screenshot, but you can still compare the size of the fibroid next to the doctor's hand in this picture. Alright guys, that's the end of my pregnancy story. I hope it was not too gruesome, but yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.